New team in Canada, the Seneca Sting, coming in at 10-0. 10 wins, no losses, no draws. They last won gold in 2014 and are certainly the favorite this year to clinch one for the first time in a while. And on the other side, Centennial comes in at 5-3-2, the number 5th team in the East. They have never won the OCAA championship. They've come close twice, but not in over 22 years. 94 and 2000 silver. And so here we go. Watch out for Shanice Alford, number 11. 12 goals, 3 assists for Seneca. Also Olivia Lamacchia, 9 goals, 4 assists. Francesca Famali, 7 goals. Martina Pania, she's got, 5 goals? So Seneca's just loaded. These two teams met earlier this year with Seneca winning 3-0. And so you got to think the favorite in white with red trim, Centennial. Is that a black or a navy blue with the fluorescent green and the white, very Seattle Seahawks-esque looking uniforms? So if you are out there listening on the YouTube or the OCAA stream, hit me up on Twitter at Mr. McKee, MRMCKEE. Let me know if this sounds too loud, too low, whatever. If I'm getting a name wrong, because I will at some point. Rosalie Benedict in goal with a good free kick, headed back forward. Oh, and Benedict just gets that out of bounds. So I talked about this in one of the previous matches, and where, Seneca, obviously, this is the number 1 team in the OCAA, number 2 team in the country, and they're going to get goals. And so you have to split the game up into sort of quarters. And so let's get through 15 minutes. Let's get through 30 minutes. Let's get through 45. We're trying to keep them goalless. You can't say, well, we're going to go 45 minutes. That's easier said than done. And so you have to allow yourself success almost, to say, hey, well, we got through 15 minutes. We got through 30 minutes. Helps keeps a positive vibe. Seneca pushing the ball around. Centennial just playing back, holding shape, as they would call it, parking the bus. It's a great ball in from Rebecca Lee. So nighttime starting to fall. We've got shadows all over the pitch, make it a little bit more challenging. 1, for me to call to get numbers, and 2, maybe for you guys to watch out at home. Faith Hoyt, left back, making a run in. And that was Francesca Famale, 13, with the pink boots. Had a crack at it, but blocked by one of the Centennial defenders. So temperature dropping here out in Oshawa. Started off chilly, got warm mid-afternoon, and now we're getting cold again. So definitely going to come to effect as the game progresses. Those tackles start to sting just a little bit more in that cold. It also takes you a while longer to get into that game, get that sweat going. Seneca down the right side. Both these schools with campuses all over the east end of Toronto. Centennial, of course, looks like Markham and 401, and they got a couple other. I know they got a campus over on Warden. Seneca's up at Shepherd in the 404. I played on their old field quite a bit, the old grass one. Great pitch that they got rid of. And danger already. Shanice Alfred, that's number 11. Seneca on the attack again. Dangerous cross in, and keeper there to get it. Rosalie Benedict. Rosalie from Ajax, went to All Saints High School, just down the road from here. Just west of the Durham College campus. Good boot to midfield. Noelle Harnett, 12, back to one of her defenders. Back to the keeper. Benedict got to sense that danger, get rid of it. Well done by Seneca. No danger. Or sorry, by Centennial, excuse me. They're so identical. You ever see that Spider-Man meme where it's the two Spider-Mans pointing at each other? That's what Seneca and Centennial are. As far as, not talking about sports teams, but as far as college campuses. Because George Brown's downtown, right? That's got a whole flex to it. Seneca and Centennial, it's all like northeast end, north end of the city. They're the same thing. Yeah. Well, the Centennial Colts, although I will say, you know, I did the 2017 or 18 OCAA Women's Volleyball Championship there, the play-by-play. The new Centennial campus, the gym, the facilities, really nice, really outstanding. You know, I remember Centennial back in the 80s and 90s, nowhere near that. I also remember having a few hockey practices at the old Seneca hockey rink in the 80s and 90s. Ball stuck in a bunch of people's feet. Finally cleared away. Noelle Harnett. And she was trying to connect with Kira Ireson. Too many ladies in white jerseys there. So here's Shanice Alford. Looking dangerous. Well down the left side. Rebecca Lee, 5 to 7 is Martina Pania. So Centennial just playing defense. They do not have a striker up top. They've got all 11 ladies back. Tight formation. Do not want Seneca to get any early goal here. Allow that, let them to get that rhythm early. What I want to see is a couple maybe aggressive tackles from some of the Centennial ladies. Let them know, hey, we came to play. We want to see them be physical. And also slow things down. Every goal kick, every throw-in, slow it down. Get Seneca out of their rhythm. If you're Seneca, just go. Just be you. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You're 10-0. They haven't even gotten a draw this year. So the most unlikely of upsets if Centennial can pull this and just boot it away. Well done by the keeper. Ireson looking for help. She's got Emma Henrique pushed ahead. Ireson. And then cleared away by Raven Edwards-Dowdle, the keeper in purple, who, by the way, has the best hair I've seen out of all 4 teams today. She's got my vote. Jordan Burke, center back, with the captain's armband on, excuse me. Jordan, third-year player. Says she's from Scarborough, but St. Clair High School is Whitby, isn't it? Yeah, so maybe born in Scarborough, then moved out to the burbs after that. And an attempt on goal, but nowhere near. Rosalie Benedict, second-year keeper. And that's knotted down by Lamacchia, number 4 up front. And 2 ladies fighting for it. Yeah, 17. Soledad Vasquez got too much jersey. That's key. Vasquez Quito. I'll get it. the hyphenated. First corner of the day for Seneca. 9 minutes in. So a good defensive start for Centennial. And you see how high Raven Edwards Dowdle is, almost close to the center circle on the other end. That's smart because she sees that, hey, they don't have a striker up front. They got no one. Good cross in and cleared off the line by Centennial. That one was going in. And that, folks, is why every keeper always has a defender on their post. Every good keeper does it. So cleared off the line. Seneca on the attack still. And pushed too far back. Edwards Dowdle. Raven from North York, Downsview High School. Excuse me. After 4 games, my voice is cracking. 2 more Saturday, the semifinals, and of course the bronze and gold medal games all Sunday. I'll be on the call for all 4. Well, I'm also calling the game. People don't want to listen to me chewing. Well, they just gave me some food here. I'm like, I'm sure you out there listening don't want to hear me chewing. Yeah. I did. I listened to myself. Talked about the other broadcast. My son plays soccer for Algoma University, and I was watching the OUA broadcast, and the kid calling the game was chewing gum on the broadcast. And he's lucky he was in Sault Ste. Marie, because if he was within driving distance, I would have driven there and strangled the kid. I had to sit and listen to him chew for 2 hours. So, quick substitution. Catherine Tagaboni enters the game. Emma Henrique to the bench. So I like that for Centennial. Keep your ladies fresh. That's it. Like, get out there, run full tilt, and then go off. Because this isn't, pro soccer where once you make your sub, that's it. You can come back. You can re-enter the game as many times as you want, as far as I know anyways. And so keep using the bench. Sprint. Here's Seneca on the attack. Faith Hoyt, left back, pushes it back to her captain, Jordan Burke. And those 2 center backs, just unchallenged, can sit back there and pick their passes for now, anyways. At some point, Centennial has to make some sort of crossed in, headed away, and Ireson trying to clear it, but they can't, and finally do. Ooh, hard tackle. Ooh, hey, referee letting him play early. And then, you know what? After that hard tackle, she gets it returned right to her. That's the game of football, ladies. And she's feeling that second tackle. I can't see who it is right now. She's down, bent over. I don't have the number. The football gods gave the karma right back. It's all right. Who was that? Looks 13. Looks like Miley Dekoff. Is she coming off? She is coming off. Well, she looks to be all right. Maybe just needs a quick breather, winded or something. And coming in is 23, Joelle Kafulu. Joelle from Ottawa. First-year player. Lee. To Ayavere. I got to get that name. Courtney Ayavere. The more I say it, the more I'll remember it. "14 minutes in, scoreless. Seneca's had one chance cleared off the line if you're just joining us. Let's check my Twitter, see if anyone's complaining yet. All is good. If you are out there, hit me up on Twitter at Mr. McKee. Let me know where you're listening from. We had someone from Edmonton the last game, Durham, tuned in. You don't get a prize or anything for the farthest people, but you will get my praise and respect. Especially the further you live away from Toronto, I admire you. Hey, that pre-2020, I would never have said that, but Lee looking for no one in a white jersey coming to her help. Alford trying to switch the play. Whoops. Lee steals it. I mean, if you're Seneca, because of how tight a formation they're playing, you got to have some long-range cracks. And there's one right there on cue. See, I know what I'm talking about here. It's Jordan Burke over the bar. Because they're so tight, it's almost impossible to get through it. So at some point, you got to take some shots from, 23 to 30 yards out. Just try and test the keeper, see where she's at. Alford. Kufulu turns it over. And Seneca on the break. Looks like Metcalf, Siamana, 12 down the right. Pushed in wide open. And she had time to bring that down. She didn't need to steer that because, there wasn't enough pace on it where she was. She could have brought that down maybe. We need a cough button instead of me taking my headset off. Seneca down the left side. Shanice Alford swings that in over top of her intended target. And now Kufulu trying to get it out. So at this point, if you're Raven Edwards Dowdle, you might want to pull out a magazine, get out your phone, see what you can stream online, because they have barely got the ball over half yet. And there's one of those long-range attempts, and what a save! Rosalie Benedict. Well, on cue, Seneca tries to have those long-range cracks, and Rosalie Benedict said, that's cool, I got it. So, great save. Just tipped over. Seneca still on the attack with a corner. Left-footed, try to swing it in. And no danger. Benedict fresh off that big save. Can't connect with her midfielder. And here comes Seneca again. So who's ball? Seneca. There's a Centennial throw. That when the ball's down the corners, I have a hard time seeing just where I'm at in the media booth. So that's where I'm a little lost. There we go. Centennial. Comfortable in possession. They've been patient in trying to get their attack and have been diligent in their defense. Now they've got a couple ladies pressed up. Could this be the chance for Seneca? Whipped in and easily dealt with by Benedict. So 19th minute. Good start for both teams. And And Alford trying to bring it down and clear it away. That's Emily Duncan. And here we go. Here's Centennial against the run of play. Kafulu. And that's pushed away by Courtney Iavere. Lee. Didn't get enough on that pass. Flicked over. Ireson trying to get it out. So what Centennial's doing also becomes exhausting, because when you defend that much crossed in, easily dealt with, it gets physically and emotionally exhausting. And it also, there's no reward, right? There's no, oh, well, we had a chance, we're trying to get into it. Now, if they're that disciplined enough, that's good. Long ball up, but it can be exhausting, especially for 90 minutes straight. You can keep it up for 45, no problem. But to do it for 90 minutes is a real challenge. Also, I mean, think of the stress on the keeper, because you're constantly, under stress, under peril. And so you're burning more energy. Still good football weather, good fall weather. Rain staying away. No snow, thankfully. Yet. Give it 2 weeks. It's coming. Burke all day. We got 2 ladies with armbands on. So we have 2 captains. I didn't know. I've never seen that before. Lee to Panea. Metcalf, Semenya out on the right side. And throw in. So Seneca's been patient in trying to crack this wall that Centennial's created. And Kafulu. Ireson looking for it. And they get her. But then Hoyt says, thank you. Panea, no one near her. Someone's got to attack. Crossed over and then cleared away from Centennial. Ireson, tough first touch on that. Becca Lee from Burlington, Notre Dame High School. And Alfred trying to cross it in, dangerous, but Benedict scoops it up. Now, if you're Benedict, slow it down. Let your ladies have a little rest here. Give them a breather. Because defending that much is exhausting. Whipped in the middle. Kafulu. Shanice Alford trying to crack that defense. It was a good ball through, but couldn't connect with Lamachia. Lamachia from Maple, Ontario. With a name like Lamachia, I assume you're from Maple, Ontario. Maple or Vaughan, one or the other. Obviously producing some of the best footballers in the country. Vaughan, Woodbridge, those 2 clubs. I've said this for years. I believe Vaughan and Sigma's out in Mississauga, have produced way more talent than Toronto FC's academy over the past decade or so. You go look at the amount of pros that have come out. They're all Vaughan. Even Unionville's got a great program. Oakville. Dangerous in. And Benedict, I don't know if Benedict got a touch on it. She didn't. It's going to roll out for a goal kick. So for those from Sigma, I mean, the head coach, what's his name, Bobby Sigamanis, whatever, he's the head coach at Forge FC, and literally, 85% of the roster on Forge is all guys that have come through Sigma. You go look at the amount of, OUA and OCAA players, how many have come through those programs? A lot. And long ball ahead for Kafulu. And Ayavere comfortable. Edwards Dowdell. That's about as much as she's had to do this afternoon or this evening as we get to the night. Just 5 minutes before 6 p.m. local time here in Oshawa. 25 minutes gone. No score. Long attempt. And Benedict made a bit too much out of that one, but just punched it over and makes the save. Hey, it all counts the same. Substitution. We got Emma Enrique coming back in. He's coming off. 10. Catherine Tagaboni. So Emma trots back in. Emma from Hamilton. Ooh. Burke took a swing at it with her left foot. And cleared away again by Centennial. Great cross, but well read by the Centennial defender over there. Who's that, number 3? It's like Kira. No, that's not Kira Irerson's 3. Who's that far left? I can't see the number. The left back. Oh, she's turned around now. It's an is it 2? We don't have a 2 on the sheet, so that's not good. We'll figure it out in a minute. Eight. So Jenna Crawford. There we go. We have an 8. Good. Burke. So these two center backs have had all day with them not playing any striker up front. It's almost like, they talk about formation, sometimes play, the 4-4-2, 5-4-1. It's Centennial is playing 5-5. 5 midfielders, 5 defenders, no striker. And they're just basically telling Seneca, shoot from range because you're not going to get through. Centennial just whips it up the right wing. Hoyt, no problem. Lee. Have a crack. Lee. And off the keeper, so that's going to be a corner. Benedict couldn't get a handle on it. Francesca Famale, left footer, heading over to take that corner again. Big shout out to my guy Scott Dennis. Saw him floating around, chatted earlier. Haven't seen him in a while. And there it is, Shanice Alford, the breakthrough, a flick on from her teammate. I don't know how anyone left 11 untouched. And she just rolls in, finds the back of the net comfortable. So Seneca, finally with the breakthrough goal, they were able to crack Centennial's basically parking the bus, and they get the goal. So if you're Centennial now, in a way, don't change what you're doing. Still keep that formation. You got to, just below 30 minutes without letting them score. And I think you should be, if you can get to half at 1-0, you take it. And then try to get some in the second half. But if they get to 2, then you got to open it up. Good through. Oh, unlucky. And that's not the pass that you could telegraph that. That's terrible giveaway, and then just cleared away, booted out of bounds. Looks like Emily Cullen. Again, this back three at Seneca all day. Never been challenged on possession once. Lee inside. And Benedict, just get that out of bounds. That's all right. Handball. Well, that's about as easy as call the referee's going to have all night. Looked like Stefan Diggs on a crossing pattern catching one of Josh Allen's passes. Long ball in, dangerous, bouncing around, and then cleared away by Centennial. Well, for the record, I'd much rather call soccer games than report on traffic. This has been a much more enjoyable day than my normal day. Not that I don't mind. I enjoy my job, but Shanice Alford dispossesses. This was like Reagan Hutchinson, number 9. And here come the Sting. And just cleared away. Still in. Go for it. The lights just turned on here on Vaso Field. Alford. And what a save. Rosalie Benedict got the left hand on it, or else it would have been 2. So Benedict's already had a couple big saves. That's a huge one right there. Now down the other end, if you're Raven Edwards Dowdle, the Seneca keeper, not tested, you have to stay in this, got to stay focused. You cannot allow that one chance to come in just because you've been sitting down there hanging out. Got to stay in it. Burke into Lamacchia. Turns back and resets. Burke, another good pass. Lamacchia has a crack. It's going to be difficult. No, but goes over the net. So what do we got? An ambulance of fire trucks racing down Simcoe Street, as you can see. And, ooh, things getting a little testy here. Whoa. We got a bit of a shoving match going on. Who was that? Kafulu? Get into it. Who was that? 7? Pania? Well, Kafulu. And no yellow? Did we not get a yellow? There we go. Yeah, I thought so. Hey, look. I'm all for a little jarring and John, but when you start pushing and stuff, someone's getting carded. Well, hey, I'm okay with that if you're Centennial. You have to change the temperature of the game. Let's make this chippy. Make Seneca uncomfortable. Make them not want the ball at their feet, knowing, oh, well, maybe someone's going to clip me here. Obviously, when you have a team that maybe, deeper and more prolific, sometimes you got to resort to not so honest tactics, maybe. Trust me, I made a living at that in the way I played for years. There's Hoyt to Lee. Nice turn from Rebecca. Great ball. I haven't seen a lot of that all day. A lot of the players at this level, they get that ball, and here's Lee on a run, leaves it for Alford, and just misses. But yeah, getting back to Lee, that she has the poise and just smoothness. She'll get that ball, she'll put her head up, turn, and open it up to the other side. All day long, we've seen it. Anytime a pass comes one way, it's going right back that way. But Lee, so cool and collected in there. She sees the whole field. And that's one of the reasons why Seneca's 10-0 and the number 2 team in Canada. Now, I would tell you who the number 1 team is, but it's one of those French colleges that I don't even know how to pronounce. I cannot pronounce it, or else I'd tell you. That's why sometimes it's easy when it's like Ryerson. No, it's Ryerson, or sorry, TMU, forgive me. Which, by the way, look, you couldn't have come up with a better name. Even MTU might have been better than TMU. And a wild attempt at goal. "36 minutes past, just the one goal. It could be a couple others. Rosalie Benedict with a couple big saves, and then one of her defenders cleared a ball off the line in the opening minutes." Ooh. And Burke upended. I don't know about that. And here it looks like Shanice Alford maybe wants to have a crack from about 27 yards out. We've got 28. Yeah, it looks like she's going to have a go on net. Well, get your phones out. Is this the highlight reel screamer goal? Nah, you got to do better than that. Like, from that range, there has to be pace on it. You can't just loop it in. I'm not a fan of the short goal kicks now. I think Centennial they got to get the ball up. They got to give themselves just a little bit of relief. So let's get this ball up to half, because playing out from the back, it's not working. And you got to give your defense just some time to relax. Edwards Dowdle. Burke. And then Famale dispossessed. And it just kicked out of bounds. All Seneca in the opening half. OCAA Women's Soccer Championships here in Oshawa, Ontario at Durham College / Ontario Tech. This is game 4 today. We saw the Durham Lords win, and there's a foul on Shanice Alford. Durham won. I think Durham faces the winner of this game. And then we had Niagara. And who am I missing? I've already drawn blanks. Cambrian, yeah. But who else? I don't know. We're drawing blanks. That's all right. This is, yeah. It's been a long day, yeah. So, looks like Famale might have a crack at it from here. And in the back of the net, Francesca Famale from about 26 yards out. Top corner. That's the kind of pace we were talking about. You're shooting from there. But Rosalie Benedict over top of her. I would have liked to see the keeper do a little bit better on that from that sort of range. There's got to be at least a dive. So it's 2, and that's a backbreaker if you're Centennial, allowing that second just before the half, because you can live with going to half 1 down. You go to 2 down, and now you're in trouble. At some point they got to open it up and try to have a run up front. They you can't just sit back and park the bus when you're down 2-0, because it'll be 3 in seconds. Kafulu, and then Burke, no problem. That's Emily Duncan back to her keeper, clears it out. Ireson, too late on the pass attempt. Ireson wide, but Alford back to defend. Hoyt. Iavere. So it's Thursday night. Isn't this Durham College pub night? Isn't that popping? That's where you're heading tonight? I remember once when I was back in college here in like 2016 or 17, I went over just to go see what was going on. Line up out the door. And I was like, the college kids are lining up to get into a bar at a hockey rink. That's what it's come to. And there's a bunch of great bars in Oshawa, downtown, stuff like that, but this is the campus hotspot because they got rid of the old E.P. Taylor's, which used to be the old bar, which is now a video game room. Don't get me started on that. I could do 40 minutes on that alone. You get rid of the social hub of your college campus so people can play video games. It's the exact opposite of what the college experience should be. Anyways, I'll leave it at that. 2-0 Seneca. Just before the half. And there's another handball. That's twice. Yeah. Long ball in. Alford in a dangerous spot. She wants to go to right foot, leaves it. And, a good attempt. Famale on her left foot this time. Scored the goal with her right foot. But I like that she's willing to have her both feet, right? So if you're Centennial, hang on for dear life. Get to the half. If it gets to 3, you can stick a fork in them. Before the half, anyways. Mentioned on the top, these two met earlier this season. And Seneca 3-0 victorious. So Seneca looking every bit the number 2 team in the country right now. But it's not a foregone conclusion this tournament's theirs. Again, how do these ladies deal with 3 matches in 4 days. How will they deal? You know, if they do get through this, they'll be playing Durham, the home crowd. Will that have an effect? Yeah, Humber's going to be in the Humber Niagara. That's going to be a great matchup. I think that one will go right down to the wire. Should be a game. Of surprise if it isn't. Ireson fighting for it. Centennial yet to have a decent chance on goal. Seneca's had quite a few already. Just seconds before the half. Shouldn't be too much in the way of injury time. No more than a minute or two. I've been wrong all day on that, so don't listen to me. Apparently, me and the fourth official are watching different games. So. 1 minute extra time. There we go. Finally, I got one. Oh, good turn. Don't foul her. Don't foul. And then blocked and kept in. So just seconds before the half, Centennial finally got the ball deep into Seneca's end. And that ball's going to roll out for a goal kick. So finally, well, I thought I was going to say Raven Edwards Daddle will have something to do, go track that ball down. So at the half, all Seneca sting. If you're Centennial, the only positive you come out that it's only 2, so still with a bit of life. I'm Chris McKee. Thanks for joining me here from Oshawa, Ontario. We're going to take a 10-minute break in the half. Be back for the start of the second half.
People I have, you have to get good people. You have to let them go to work, and you have to learn to delegate and not be a micromanager. Winning the national championship was exciting because we had to beat my brother's school in the semifinals, and that was kind of rewarding. I always tell the kids, what you learn on the field should be able to take you into real life. Learning to sacrifice, learning to put the team's goals ahead of yours. You guys are pulling on the highway of life, and I can see the stop sign in the distance getting bigger every year, and things happen in life that you can't control, and that stop sign could be yours next week. You just never know. So give it everything you have right now. What I love most about coaching baseball is the people that I meet every day, and over the years, been to a number of weddings and a number of christenings of kids that the players have produced over the years, and so that's very rewarding. Pretty good compliment, I think. But just that I was a good baseball guy. And had my players at heart. That's the most important thing.
We all really want to win, and we all want to work hard towards winning. We don't think that just because we've done so well in the past years that other teams are just going to give it to us. We know that people know who we are because of how well we've done, and we have to work for what we want. These past couple of years have been really good. Team-wise, I've made some of my best friends on this team who I believe will be with me for the rest of my life. And it doesn't feel like we're really friends. It feels like we're more of like a small family because of how closely knit we are. Honestly, it's a really great program. There's a lot of extras that we have here. We have ETS, which is one of our fitness programs that we go through during the season.
which helps with like injury prevention and also helps us improve as players throughout the year. Also, we have a really great coaching staff. We're really hard on academics, and we want to make sure that everyone, while they're doing well on the court, they're also doing well off the court.
The way I approach as a coach, like, you're here to be a student first. You have to be a successful student in order to play volleyball. You have a certain grade point average. If you're a scholarship athlete, you have a certain grade point average to receive that. School is going to get you where you want to be. Once you get that under your belt, then you can be athlete, and that's what we work hard on to make sure that they're successful for them.
You meet a lot of new people on the sports teams, and you make a lot of new friends, so it just kind of makes you feel more comfortable coming from high school.
We know it's a big jump going from high school to college. We do open gyms for the summertime. Sometimes we know the kids 2 summers ahead, and we'll have them come out just to meet the girls and train and try to get them to the next level in that, and then just help ease that transition.
Getting to know some of the girls before even starting school helped a lot, because you make friends through it because you already have a common interest.
We try our best to make sure that it's a second family and you feel welcome and you feel comfortable. We want them to come in and go, hey, I know 10, 12 other people, and that they feel a little more comfortable, a little more stable.
A lot of the teachers are really understanding for first years, and they try to help you as much as possible, and as long as you let them know when you're missing things and you're going to make up for them, they're pretty understanding of all that.
So when I recruit, I talk to athletes about, potential athletes about what programs they're interested in. There's a lot of good programs that we can utilize here and really try to sell Durham for what it is. We have tons of amenities that a lot of other schools don't have.
We have an academic athletic study room that was provided for us. We all go up there to study sometimes or just to finish homework.
I think it's really good having the team room kind of as a place to go in between class, before practice, after practice really helps out. We have like ice tubs in the back of the room that I usually use almost every time after practice.
The gyms that we have are up-to-date, nice equipment that we can utilize, our hitting boxes, our active spike, setting targets, passing targets.
Having like people be there to set it up for us to make sure everything's right and perfect is really helpful. It doesn't really put extra stress on us.
One of the big programs that we utilize is the UPS training system. That's something that a lot of schools don't have for varsity-only training sessions to help their athletes to increase their speed and vertical and to avoid therapy. Therapy we have 2 great trainers every year that are overseen by our therapy staff. Our athletes are usually pretty strong and to avoid injuries as much as possible.
We have a great coaching staff. Tony especially, he knows how to reach out to the girls and how to get them motivated during practice.
I think what's so good about our coaching staff is that they respect us as players. Respecting your players is very important and kind of encourages people to play and work hard.
Sometimes when we're looking down and stuff, he'll always try to bring out the positivity, as well as our assistant coaches. Everyone is a well-rounded coach, and they always try to help us to the best of their ability.
We always want to give back and say, like, we are a community college and we want to give back to the community.
We raised money for Breast Cancer Awareness Month and for November, and we did our annual gift exchange with the YWCA.
We do the best to bring in club teams and like high school teams, elementary teams. When they come in, we do little special signing, or little cards and that. Make them feel important, and they go, oh, this is something I can do later on. So we just really want to give back to say, hey, we are Durham College. This volleyball program, we want to be part of the community, we want to be active, and we want to help as much as we can.
Honestly, just go out and work as hard as you possibly can, even if you think you won't have a starting spot. Everyone works to where they need to get to, and if you want to be on the court, just show it and you'll get there.
Well, welcome back. Sorry, I'm choking on some Halloween candy, and hence me a little late getting back. So back to it, all Seneca in the first half. Centennial, no shots on goal. So they gotta try to muster something. I was chewing the chocolate, that's why I was choking. I had to get rid of it. Seneca on the hunt for 3. And a crack on goal, but saved by Rosalie Benedict. Try not to block so I can see. Yeah. We've switched camera people. Olivia jumping in now. And that's Metcalf Siamana down the right side. Carly Udenberg right back. So some of those numbers that are on the far side, it's a little easier to see this close to me. So I like the night view here in North Oshawa. It's just a much better visual than the daytime, especially when those shadows come over. It looks more like a real game. Centennial trying to push. They're not doing that sit back and park the bus. They got to try and get one here. And Hoyt, finally some pressure from Centennial, pushed it out of bounds. So thanks for joining us here on the OCAA stream. I'm Chris McKee. Done all 4 games today. It's been a long day, but a fun day. Always blessed to be back, especially over the past couple years. You know, a lot of these sports been taken away from us, especially me as a broadcaster. Not too many opportunities, so always a blessing just to be back doing this. So Cheyenne Carrington, number 7, on Centennial right in front of us, left back. And good tackle, steals it away. Vasquez Cato pushes it up and roll out of bounds. Should be Centennial ball, don't touch it. Yeah. So we got 3 people in the room. I'm going, those shirts are navy or black? Black? Okay, all right. So we got a consensus. So Centennial trying to push up, trying to get something going on. We got a free kick just inside the touch line. So here's your chance. Someone's got a head on it. Got to get a head on it. Whipped in. Dangerous ball. But Seneca clears comfortably. So the team's just kind of snuck back out in the field. We're in the next room trying to warm up. And then all of a sudden they were out there. We came rushing back in. And I was choking with some Halloween candy. I needed that sugar rush to get me through this second half of the game. It's a game 4. I've never done 4 soccer games in a row. I've done 3 basketball games, but never 4. Long distance shot and a great save, Rosalie Benedict. So Benedict's made a couple outstanding saves. She was a little suspect on that free kick. But aside from that, has made a couple huge saves. Lee. That's Udenberg down the right side. Carly from Richmond Hill. And Lee again. So Rebecca looks like she's playing that holding midfield. Very Michael Bradley-esque. Just so calm and cool. Can whip the ball 20, 30-yard passes on a dime. Tough on defense. And a great ball down the left wing. Noel Harnett. And that's pushed out of bounds. Throw in. Centennial. Well, they look more lively, certainly in the second half. The Colts, great to see. Ireson. That's Jenna Crawford. Ball at her feet right now. Good ball. Whipped up. Miley Dekoff trying to track down the defender. And that was a bit unnecessary from Iavere. She had all day. And there's Lee again, switches play. Nope. Too good. Lee. So Centennial a little bit more active here in the first couple minutes. First 7 minutes of the second half. Still trail 2-0. Got to get something going. A good crack on net would help things out. And if you're Seneca, just play within yourself. No need to push. Play good defense. No need to push any pass. And Rebecca Lee fouled hard. Oof. Catherine Tagabone. It's just Jordan Burke. So we got 2 captain armbands, which is a first for me. Unless one's the assistant. I got to check the other armband if it says A, because Jordan says C. They both say C. There we go. I didn't even know that was allowed. Because I know I've done League One games, and they're very strict. All uniforms have to be certain ways and everything. You can't have that. You can get fined if you play League One, if you have 2 captains, armbands, stuff like that. Nodded forward. Tagabone flicks it up. So you can hear the Centennial coaches saying press, and here they are. They've got a break. And favorable bounce off the Centennial player. That's going to be a goal kick. But a bit more like it. Get up. Get into it. Can't just sit back forever. As we say here in Canada, sometimes you just got to give her. So where we are in the media booth, half of it is a window wide open where our camera is. That's how you have that clean shot. The other side is a glass window. So now with this reflection at night, I'm seeing myself more than I can the game, which is not something I ever like doing. There's a reason I'm on radio, not on television. There's like a foul called against Centennial. Seneca ball. So 10 minutes into the second half. A bit more entertaining game at least. It's not just Seneca applying pressure. Udenberg takes the space given to her. Her touch let her down. And so did the Centennial player. Who was that? That's Noel Harnett. So the two of them. Harnett just bailed out Udenberg. Good ball. And then dispossessed. Iavere. I'm not sure why that wasn't called a foul. It looks like Ireson was tripped up. And again, here's a break. Dekoff, I thought she should have took that in the corner, leaves it. Clever little roll. Ball fed in, but Rebecca Lee just clears that away. Too delicate on that tackle for Vasquez. And down the right side, Metcalf, Siamani, too much for her. Thanks for joining us here on the OCAA live stream. Of course, don't forget to tune in Saturday, Sunday, first game Saturday at noon Eastern time, and then we'll be back at 3 p.m. And then I believe the same schedule for Sunday, which is all right because I can get a little bit of a sleep in. Not here. That 10 a.m. this morning was challenging for me. I'm team late night. Well, I always worked afternoons for the past couple of years, and so anything early morning a challenge, and that's a hard foul on Metcalf Siamane. I didn't see who committed the foul. The ref's walking over. I don't know if a card's coming out. So Rosalie Benedict trying to set up her wall. So she's got a 3-woman wall. And we got that left foot of Famale, who's already scored on a free kick. She's going to try and whip this in. So she may try to have a crack on goal because she's got that whole front side open. I like to see Benedict shift a little bit over to her left. She's exposing too much of that left side. Cross in. Ball bouncing around. Oh! And that looks like Iavere just pushed it past the post. It should be 3, but it isn't. Centennial can breathe a sigh of relief. So Joel Kafulu back in. Kafulu picked up a yellow in the first half, getting a shoving match with a couple of ladies on Seneca. So Kafulu, the enforcer, coming back in. She's got to watch. Can't have another yellow, obviously, because we'll be down to 10 women. And Udenberg steps in front of that. Seneca on the prowl, whipped in, and no danger for Benedict. Fun day of action here in Oshawa. Enjoyed this. Can't wait for Saturday. Centennial on the attack again. Can she run that out? Well shielded. Goal kick. I'm trying to figure out who won. We got Durham, Niagara, and Humber. That was the third win. There we go. Losing my mind. So those three, Humber, Niagara, and Durham, have all advanced to the semifinal match. The winner of this will play Durham, from what I'm told. And a crack from distance, no danger. Rosalie Benedict easily there. Seneca again. No, what are you doing? What was the defender doing allowing that to creep through? You got to clear that away. And now it's 3. We'll get a number on who scored this from Seneca in just 1 second. Do we have a number yet, Cole? Right here. 19. That's Sydney Street. So Sydney, let's just come on at half. Sydney Street, goal number 3 for Seneca, and that should just about do it. I don't know what the Centennial defense was doing there, not clearing that. No communication amongst them, and that's the result of it. So 61 minutes in, Seneca 3-0. Yeah, Sydney Street, our in-game announcer, just confirmed. Street again, whipped in for Shanice Alford. And she has a crack from distance, but just wide of the net. All Seneca Sting all night, really. And yeah, you can hear the clunk from here. Shouldn't be any argument. And well done. Stand on the ball. Ask for your yards. If you're Seneca, just slow everything down. If you're the ref, there's no need to have that conversation. You know what she's doing. Lamacchia knows what she's doing. Great ball in. Dangerous. Centennial crossed over. Off the crossbar. Yeah, almost. So maybe Centennial not done yet. We shouldn't throw the dirt on them just yet. So we're at a corner. And you got to get everyone in black and green should be up in this box now. You got to get one. Good cross in. Flipped away. Again, Edwards Dowdle yet to be tested. And then here's the counter. We've got 5 white jerseys against 2. That's what you risk when you push forward. And thankfully, cleared away by Centennial. Udenberg for Street. And she goes, that's a tad ambitious, shall we say, from close to 30 yards out. I like that name, Sydney Street. Who was it? Maya South was the last one. That could be like an all-girl, the new Spice Girls. Sydney Street, Maya South. I'm sure we can find another good name in that mix. Jamie Pye. Kyra Barton. Yeah. I don't know. Oh, Thomas Roberts. Sage Thomas Roberts. Yeah, Sage was a good one. Whipped up the left side. And she escapes 3 white jerseys. Noelle Harnett. So, tripped up. So Harnett mentioned from Whitby, so shouldn't be too long of a commute home for her tonight. "65 minutes gone. We finally saw some signs of life from Centennial within the past few minutes. Ball off the crossbar. And they're not just sitting back and playing, they're actually going for it. Ayavere back to the keeper. That's the thing with keepers on teams like this. You really don't know how good they are. You know, I talked about with my son, the last place team in the OUA. Well, against York, I think he had something like 34 shots against them, right? Whereas the York keeper might have had 2 or 3. So you really don't know how good they are, some of these keepers on the really good teams. Whipped in. I'm not saying I think Raven isn't a good keeper. We just don't know. We haven't seen her tested. She certainly looks the part. Yeah. Hoyt. Famale. And Shanice Alfred's she got the night off to a start, first goal. So that would be goal 13 on the season from her. Shanice started out at MacEwan University out in Calgary, now here in the Toronto area. And Shanice looks like she's from out there. Airdrie, Alberta. And almost in, and there's the keeper out to get it. Well done. Edwards Dowdle. So we get a couple League One ladies. I know Francesca Famale, Vaughan League One. Martina Pania, another Vaughan League One lady. That's what I found between the OUA and the OCAA. The more League One players you have, that's the better likelihood you're going to be good. So, which I don't understand why other clubs aren't basically, you don't see every university and college at the League One games to find out who's available, who wants to go to school. Because that's the difference. You go look at Guelph, they won the League One, and then they win the OUA. It's all basically the same team. A couple different players. That's on the men's side of things. Rosalie Benedict. I gotta think Rebecca Lee plays League One somewhere. I mean, her touch is crazy. Long crack, and it's 4. Again, a long distance shot. Seneca of 4, and Seneca surely now through to the semifinal rounds. Do we have a number? Again, I can't see. So it looks like Lamakia 4. So Olivia Lamakia makes it 4 for Seneca, and that should just about do it. So as they say in other sports, warm the bus up. Centennial needs to, I mean, it's going to take a miracle at this point. Yeah, it is Olivia Lamakia. And that's, folks, is why you can't always shoot. Let the keeper make the mistake if you can. Whipped in. Will it be 5 over the net? So just kind of how far I am from the pitch. It's hard to get numbers. I've got my glasses in, but sometimes the hair in the way and stuff. Some of the ladies. Lee. Hoyt down the left side. She's been solid all day. Faith Hoyt. Now Faith wants to get a run in. Which in a 4-0 game, I don't know how her coach would feel about that. But she left that left back exposed, but Centennial couldn't take advantage of it. And too much. Keeper should come out and get it. Net's open. Have a shot. They're all screaming at it. And Udenberg. Should be white ball. So get the marker out. Looks like Centennial, you can marker in that name to push through. Or sorry, Seneca, thank you. It's been a long day. It's one of those days. Thanks, Cole. Yeah. 4 games. The coffee ran out about 4 hours ago. So, yeah. The good news is the Molson Canadian better be cold after this is done. And a hard foul will go Centennial way. Long ball in, and then cleared away. Jordan Burke. I mean, Burke's command of the back just outstanding. So calm. At this point, it's looking, Seneca looks to be the most dangerous team, but they are certainly not unbeatable when they were in the regular season. But come playoff time, you know, come Sunday, if they were able to get through that next round over Durham, where will the legs be? We don't know. Do these ladies have jobs Saturday night? Some of them, so they're putting themselves through school. Hoyt trying to make that run. Great pass in, turn around, and saved by Rosalie Benedict. Or it looks like it hit the post. She was there regardless. It's going to be a goal kick, Centennial. Long ball up. Nobody wants to put a head on it. There just has to be belief in every ball in games like this that who wants to get that ball? And that's a foul. Yeah, it should have been. And that should be a yellow. Because Burke knew exactly what she's doing. Just tripping up Dekoff. And that should be. So, hey, everyone up. Why does Centennial have 2 defenders back? It's 4-0. What are you defending? Whereas Seneca has everyone back. Great ball in, dangerous, but it just skates out of bounds. Temperature dropping here in Oshawa. That's one thing you forget about when you do basketball play-by-play for years. You forget about temperature sometimes. So you used to just warm gyms. The only thing I have to worry about when I do basketball is sometimes the BO in the gym gets a bit intense. Especially when doing high school basketball. These teenage boys. And we got an injured player down. You're going to put it out. Sydney Street just puts it out. So someone got clipped on the side of the foot. That is painful. Can't see who's down. Her teammates are shielding her. So that's the goal scorer, Lamakia. She's all right. Just got to walk that off. And there's Lamakia again. Ooh, and they took another clip at her. Substitutions. Looks like Kafulu back in. She's already on that yellow mentioned earlier. Flicked ahead. It's Vasquez. And a great ball through Kafulu. And there's Raven Edwards Dowdle comes out to scoop that up. She's aware. Good for her. Like I said, in games like this, that's hard for the keeper, right? You haven't been tested much. It's a chilly night. You're sitting back there. It's lonely. I played a goalie in hockey growing up. I won 2 city championships in the GTHL or MTHL back then. But there's certain nights like that where you're like, it's lonely when you're playing against a bad team. I start counting like tiles in the ceiling in the game and stuff like that out there. So I used to play at this arena called Cummer Park. It's still there up in North York. And sometimes they had a track that ran up above the rink so people would work out. And me as a young boy, a teenage boy, sometimes there's an attractive looking lady up top. Sometimes that in a blowout game, that would be something entertaining to go. And then sometimes the puck's coming down the other way. You're like, oh, geez, yeah. Just keepers, they'll tell you that's almost like a book on its own. Like, where has your mind gone to in the middle of a game? Centennial on a break. Dekoff down the left side looking for help, and that ball's just pushed out of bounds. Should be throw in. 13 minutes to go. We had some injury time, but if it stays like this, I don't know if the ref will use much of it. You want to see Centennial get one. Let the ladies have just a minute of joy. Someone, have someone get a memory, say, hey, at least I scored. Centennial trying to muster up something. Seneca with a long free kick. Whipped up. And here's Lamakia again behind the defense. Holds it up wisely. Lamakia, have a go. She does, but comfortable for Benedict in the net. Pushed ahead. Ooh, if that got over Burke, Kafulu was wide open. Centennial. Well, you had possession. You had 12 wide open. Harnett was sitting over there. Harnett's got to look for a turnaround. And yeah, that's not the ball. You had Harnett wide open, but she also turned around and ran away from it. You got to go looking for that ball. Ooh. And Ireson. And a yellow's coming out. Rebecca Lee. So I'm curious if, the cards from the regular season carry over into the playoffs. I don't know yet. No one's made me aware. So you wonder if suspensions happen. I know in the OUA it's 3 yellows and a suspension. I'm not quite sure what the OCAA rule is. It's Kira Ireson. Took a good lick. She looks a little worse for wear. Now we got a substitution. Kira's going to come off. And Catherine Tagaboni back in. Catherine from Youngstown. Now, is that Youngstown, Ohio? Do we know if there's a Youngstown, Ontario? I know there's Youngstown, Ohio. Been there. Flick ahead. And Edwards Dowdle there to scoop it up. All right, I've decided Edwards Dowdle's good. I didn't have too many shots, but she's there. She's alert. She's awake. She's doing the right things. Lee trips over her own feet, and that's too ambitious, that pass. On AstroTurf, you can't. It's too much. Last 9 minutes of the game. For some of these ladies, maybe the last college game they ever play. So you got 10 minutes to put it out there, right? Can't see what's going on. Looks like the linesman is trying to make the ref aware of something. And now the ref's running over to the side. Let's see if we can pick up what they're saying. So we're trying to listen to what the ref said. I think she said, I heard the hockey rinks popping tonight. That's where pub night is. That's what we're all going after. And so the fourth official agrees. And so it's been decided. $4 drinks over there. I'll tell you, this is me aging myself. In my college days, there used to be a bar in downtown Toronto called the Barracuda. It was a huge nightclub. It was great. They had a beach volleyball course in the club. And every Thursday before 10 p.m., $1 bottles of beer. So we'd be lined up at like 8:30 knocking on the door. And then I would buy like 10 bottles of beer for $10. But then by 11 o'clock at night, you're drinking, warm beer because it's been sitting there on a table, and you also got to kind of hover over those 10 bottles, make sure nobody gets them. Because this is when you could smoke in the club, so you never know, someone putting a cigarette in your bottle. $1 beers, imagine that. And they wonder why there was massive brawls every Thursday night at the Barracuda. It's probably a condo somewhere now in the Young and Bloor area, long gone. Last 7 minutes. All Seneca, all night. Substitution. So yeah, if you're Seneca, why not empty the bench, get some of these other ladies a run. Bianca Mora coming in. Bianca from Stouffville, one of my favorite parts of Southern Ontario. I love always go up there for a nice drive for lunch. Faith Hoyt. Lamakia. So if you're Centennial, a good season on the whole, you're above 500, you got to the OCAA championships, a couple big wins throughout the season, so certainly plenty to move forward with and grow with, and as well as for the ladies, to kind of have pride in their season. Seneca down the right side. They're playing keep away down to the corner. And is that it for a throw-in or a goal kick or a corner? Looks like a throw-in. Well, foul throw. That's the first 4 games today. That's the first foul throw we've seen. So something new happening. And more substitutions. Seneca emptying the bench. Darren Ryan coming in. First-year player from Welland. Or Darien, excuse me. I printed the rosters with the font too small. I usually have like a 12 or 14 font so I can see them better. But this, I've got like a 10 or 11 font on this. Yeah. Ooh, hard tackle. She's none too happy about that. Are you really going to... Oh, I was going to say, don't give it to the Centennial player. So, Seneca player getting a yellow on that. There's a Lamachia. Maybe, yeah, it might have been for talking junk. But also, if you're the ref at this, yeah, keep the cards away. Because, again, you could be costing these ladies an opportunity to play in a championship game because you want to impose an ego late in the game just for saying, hey, come on, ref. Stay out of the way. Ball in. Kafulu. Blasted. No. Bounced off one of the Centennial players. And that's going to roll out. Good flick, but nobody on it. I will say, I do like Centennial jerseys, that Colts across the front, pretty slick. And 17, Vasquez she's been fouled twice hard, and she's none too pleased. Well, hey, you got about 5 minutes to maybe return the favor to somebody. We're also seeing Vanessa Gulo for the first time, number 20 coming in. So nice that some of the other players get at least a couple minutes run out here. I'm surprised we didn't see some of these other ladies sooner. Again, you know, you got the 3 games in 4 days. If some of these Seneca stars, I don't know why they're still out there. The game's comfortable. You don't have to worry about goal differential kind of stuff like that. You're already through. And so maybe save the some of your top players for Saturday and Sunday. Ball in the box, Kafulu trying to make something happen. Good ball in. And then Faith Hoyt, solid as a rock on defense. She's been outstanding all night. Sydney Street couldn't get a handle on it. And Street steals that. We got Shanice Alford still out there. And, ooh, another foul. That looks like 17 finally returned the favor. Hey, good for her. All's fair in love and war, right? I don't think they will because they just want to wrap this up. I don't expect too much injury time at it, even though we've had a couple injuries. Although based on some of the reffing I've seen this year, she'll probably go 10 minutes. I see this ref jump. A pretty good job. Getting a little chippy late as anticipated, but I think for the most part, today, the ref's been pretty, all in all, pretty decent. Look, it's never going to be perfect, but it's certainly been very good. Dangerous ball in, and whips across the box. So another substitution. Looks like we're going to get in. And Hoyt is only going to go out of bounds. No, kept in. And I didn't see what that call was down the corner. Well, looks like Seneca going to try to get another crack at goal here. Whipped in, dangerous. Oh, and just missed a sitter. Well, that would have been glorious had she finished it. Looks, it might have been Gulo that just came out. Can't see who's over on that side of the pitch. Centennial. And a hard slide tackle, knocked out of bounds. It was Jordan Burke. So this is it. We're in injury time. 3 extra minutes. I mean, Centennial, everyone up. I don't know why the keeper's not up. Go just try to get one. Try to spoil the clean sheet. At least rain on their parade in some way possible. Ball whipped in. Decent cross, but Edwards Dowdo. No problem. Raven going to slow it down and just boots it up. It's Gulo down to the corner. He's trying to run the clock out. Well, Centennial, they gave a valiant effort in that first half defending, and just a couple unfortunate breaks. You got Shanice Alford with the breakthrough, and then the long free kick goal. And if they could have got it to 1 at the half, it could have been a different story. But that second goal was the difference maker late, and then after that, the Sting were off and running. They're just trying to play keep away down in that far right corner. That's always so frustrating. I usually end up just kicking someone, because if they're playing keep away, it's like, all right, you want to keep doing that. Cool. Yeah. And that'll do it. Well, congrats to the Seneca Sting. Dominant. They came in undefeated. They'll stay that way. The number 2 team in the country certainly looks the favorite here at the OCAA Championship weekend in Oshawa. They'll face the Durham Lords Saturday. Try to keep the perfect season alive. Well, thanks for joining us here from Oshawa, Ontario. I'm Chris McKee. Remember, hit me up at Mr. McKee on Twitter. I'll be here on Saturday and Sunday with the calls. And hopefully you will be too.